Greetings, Keechlings. Keech Prime here with my live reaction of My Hero Academia, Chapter 305. Sorry this is a little rushed. I just got off work, but then I also have to go back in like 30-40 minutes. So, yeah, this might be very quick. It may not even be uploaded when I'm recording this, so sorry for all of that, but yeah. Okay, last chapter, the big question was, would Deku kill Tomura? This was asked by Nana herself in the coma world. But anyway, and we're starting off with that's picking up right where it left off, and the title is Midoriya, Izuku, and Shigaraki Tomura. Are you able to kill Shigaraki Tomura? Excuse me? This isn't a request. This is a question of your will and intent. You saw him during the last interaction, and saw the face of a child who was crying. You felt that he was in pain. Our hearts and minds are one, so we could sense that feeling within you. The problem is, we don't really see it the same way. Oh, so that... Interesting. I mean, he's the ultimate evil at this point, so... And they've all been fighting that same kind of evil, so, I mean, I can't really blame them for, you know, there be two sides of the fence in this argument. We can also sense the boy's been hurting by all for one. But that doesn't mean that he wants any of our help, though. But in that tense situation, his eyes, those creepy, creepy eyes, they were filled with nothing but contempt. He raised him that way. In Shigaraki's state, my brother probably took over his body by now. All for One's will probably be all but dominating his mind already. This is another attempt by him to get his hands on One for All. As for Mr. Koha Ori over here, so that's the 6 user's name. Okay, Koha Ori. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And myself. AFOs tried to steal OFA. God, when it said like... The naming has always been like easily confused in my head when you have to say it fast. From us twice and failed both times. Holy crap. So he be trying to do it multiple times now. I mean, it makes sense. In order for OFA to stay safe from the evildoers, we require our successors to have an iron will, a nigh infinite determination. Ours is a power all too valuable to be risked for just one lowly person. Shigaraki's probably going to use your lack of iron will to his advantage. Oh, okay. This is a turn. A power that cannot be transferred to another without the will of the user, and this is going to be a test of your determination. Is this setting up the whole thing of like if the second user actually is Bakugo and he's like some kind of time traveler or whatever, even though we've never seen a time quirk before, but whatever. If there is a user out there, just we haven't gotten to meet them yet, it's like, does Deku transfer over the power to him? He time travels so that it doesn't, you know, in the present it's not stolen? Is that what we're getting here? I don't know, my mind's a whirl. One for All's edge is over all for one. Is that it doesn't fall prey to be stolen. Being stolen. We've created and cultivated One for All for the specific purpose of eradicating All for One. Yagi-kun's is the prime example of this. But my brother keeps coming back, and Shigaraki seems to be part of his strategy to make you lower your guard. Izuku-kun, I come to you not to merely tell you that there is no backing out now, and this is Nana speaking. I feel like it's cowardly for me to even consider thrusting my will onto you like this. But Tomura Shigaraki is my grandson who became this way because I left his father at a young age to fight All for One. This is the result of my actions. And as this failure I brought upon myself, it seems so harsh to just pass it on to a 16-year-old child. I understand this, but okay, there's butterfly wings behind Tomura in this. If my grandson, Nai, if that thing reaches its potential, no one will be able to stop what comes next. And now there's some like, what the heck is that? It's like some kind of demon thing. You should be fighting against the manifestation of pure evil. There are people out there who cannot be completely, or who cannot completely comprehend, who cannot be forgiven, comprehended, are rehabilitated, or rehabilitate. Sorry. What if he's one of them? When a person who looks like he wants to be saved, when he simply cannot be saved. Izuku's just kind of, oh boy. Can you tell me that you will have the will required to stop him at all costs? And now all the other, good lord, their faces are just right in them walls. I have heard someone commented, I think it was on the last reaction, saying that like maybe, I think it was that or I read it somewhere. I can't remember. My brain just, no. That like the reason why the first or the second and the third users are like got their faces to the wall is because they don't respect or acknowledge Deku. So, and this very well might be the reason, because he doesn't have the iron will required or something. So that could be interesting. And good if that's actually, like, people to pick that up, potentially. To me, it may be awkward to say this, but I felt. When Shigaraki's consciousness manifested in OFA and entered the vestige world, I could feel that Shigaraki was feeling when he was told to think about his aspirations and the darkest or deepest parts of his mind. Maybe it could be darkest. I could feel a child crying. Aww, it's when he destroyed his home and everything. I think. And he was like wandering around. Can someone help me? Oh, I'm sure there's a hero that could help you, my boy. All the regular citizens are like, yeah, just find a hero. Hero will find you. They never did. I've fought against many people thus far. They had their ways set inside them. I had no choice but to stop them by fighting. And he's thinking of like Kisake, Muscular, and crap. Why can't I? The blood guy. Why can't I think of his name? But I never had the opportunity to explore their motivations and pinpoint who exactly they or why exactly they became villains. Mental cases, Yakuza boss, a dude who just doesn't like the dishonorable heroes. I think those are their motivations. In that order, If I understood them fully, things may have gone differently. Our fights could have resolved differently, perhaps. And now he's thinking of Gentle. Countless people died, and many of those who I hold dear got hurt. Oh, he's thinking of Bakugo, Gran Torino, and Aizawa, and there is Endeavor there too. However, and now we're in like a weird kind of like visionary world. There's the pupper with Tomura, and here's little Izuku coming up to him. One for all is a power to save people, not to kill. All Might taught me that lesson. Oh, I wonder if All Might's like consciousness or subconsciousness is like, taking this all in, and then when All Might does die and join the vestiges completely, will he have all this information flood into his mind and be like, I did pick the right one, kind of thing. Not just me either. And now he's thinking of like everybody that's, bathed in the light that is All Might. All Might. And the guys who helped grow and cultivate One for All. You were responsible for saving countless amounts of people from then to now. Its origins may have rooted in the goal of eradicating All for One. But because you've all risked your lives and maintained the power, its purpose has changed and morphed over all this time. I mean, he's not wrong. Oh my god, is he like, is the darkness like coming off of him now? Oh my god, All Might's consciousness is crying. He is aware. there's certainly a possibility that he can only be stopped by killing him. I still think you just cork bullet the crap out of him and you'll be fine. Lock him up, keep him under lock and key, and he's just a regular guy. I haven't thought about I can't even say the word, logistics of how I would go about it. I just told you. But I want to try saving this crying child. And that's him with him saying, I want to save him. Okay, we've got the first and we've got All Might there, and Nana's just kind of like, that's right. And we'll be here to guide you on that journey. Oh, so the first is in tune with this, and All Might's just, he's like, let it out, All Might, let it out. Oh, what's happening? I'm incredibly glad that you, of all people, inherited One for All. And now he's going over to Nana and pat her on the shoulder. I apologize for testing you like this. Your Entrino is still alive. Sorahiko, we made the wrong choice. And now he's remembering that line. When you wake up, please tell him that I said hi. And now she's crying, but our successor here is certainly determined. So it was all a test. Okay. And the first is just looking over at the... Okay, that doesn't quite look like Bakugo's hair. The more we see of them, the less it looks like Bakugo, unless he, dyed his hair, or maybe weird effects happened to him. I don't know. How about you guys chime in now and help us out? So that Deku knows what to expect out of the rest of you guys as quarks. And that is the end of the chapter. Okay, what... If the second user does have explosion or some kind of explosion power, I think we'll know that it truly was Bakugo, but we just haven't seen the full understanding of how he ended up as one of the earliest users. So that could be interesting, if that theory still holds water. The other one doesn't look like Kurashima at all, like people said in the early days of the theory, so he looks more and more like a modern-day Shikamaru with lighter colored hair. So, yeah. All of this was a test. An Iron Will is required to be a one-for-all user. This makes a lot of sense because, you willingly have to give up the power to someone else. So if you have an Iron Will and you wouldn't give it to anybody, you could die with it at worst case scenario, or you could willingly give it to someone that you know is right for the job. And luckily, it has been going on for 8 generations now. Or 7 generations technically. And then Deku being the 8th person to ever really have it. In its full entirety. So yes. Interesting. So we gonna get some chime in, quirk information from the second and third user? Don't know. Could be a chapter or 2 from now. I'm actually surprised that they've actually been in this. I thought he was actually going to be pulled out. But he's in a comatose state right now, so probably the more time he's in here, the better off he'll be. It gives him more time to heal. Plus, the time in there seems to be going much faster than it is on the outside. But with All Might actually crying, I'm kind of wondering if he's actually aware on the outside. It's only been said that that's his consciousness, not, him having a mental link we don't know yet. But maybe. The fact that he's never knew about the vestiges until Deku told him about them, just kind of confirms that maybe there is no mental connection. But maybe there is one now that Deku's coming into his own, coming into the vestiges world and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see how that develops. Now, as for, what would Deku do? I still think the Quark Annihilation bullets, Tuesdays with Tomura kind of deal, I think that's probably the best route. It is the least painful. He stays alive, but he has to pay his debt to society, by being in prison for the rest of his natural-born life. And then maybe just do that with Shigaraki as well, if, he's still running around by that point. Like if his body is. I mean, his consciousness seems to be taking over Tomer, obviously, but the two of them still seem to act independently, body wise. So we'll have to wait and see. But if not, Cork Bullet him up, and then, yeah, maybe then just throw him in a paddock cell as well. Paddock cell? I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so, yeah. Trying to think of anything else I'm missing. I'm probably missing something. Sorry. I'm just trying to be as quick as possible. As I said, I gotta go back to work. But yeah, interesting chapter. I like that it was a test, but hey, we learned a good thing about One for All is that you need an iron will. It makes sense, but also you needed to have the heart of a hero as well. But maybe that's not the full thing. Also, we learned we learned the 6 user's name. What was his name? Good lord. It's Ojira? Let's see here. Koha Ore. Okay. Ore. It sounds kind of cool. But Koha there, Mr., covers his face all the time. So I imagine he's going to be the next one to reveal his powers. I mean, I think he's the only one left at this point, other than the two mysterious I am in timeout kind of people. So the second, third users, they'll probably be the last ones. The fact that the first, it's like, you two want to chime in and let the lad know your powers, what he's going to be dealing with in the future. But we'll have to obviously wait and see. But it seems like Kohei will be the next one in line to tell his powers, which I am actually quite interested. Like, I already kind of guessed the fourth user. What was his name? Shino, something. But yeah, the fourth user, Danger Man. So yeah. So I'm thinking maybe some kind of visionary ability. The fact that he covers up his mouth all the time could be an illusion that maybe he's kind of like Chamber from the X-Men, where he has to cover his mouth because his mouth just projects power. Like when he screams and talks and stuff, so it can be very dangerous to friend and foe alike. So maybe he has something like that. Or a visionary power like X-ray vision and laser beams, heat beams, something like that. Cyclops situation, maybe. Or maybe he has some kind of defensive power because he covers himself up. Maybe that eludes that. I don't know. But anyway, he seems to be next up, and then we'll get the second, third users eventually. But yeah, so Deku passed the test, and everyone is happy that he was chosen, which is great. So the Coma arc continues, and we'll see what happens next time. But anyway, let me know your own thoughts and opinions on this chapter. Anything I missed, misunderstood, please let me know down below. Check out my other content, see what you like, suggest things for the future. On the road to 500, that's the new sub goal, so 500. Links down below for all my social media so you can keep up with my content and have ways to contact me. I stream on Twitch where I do gaming, and I'll tweet it out when I go live, part of the One Punch Man podcast on Grim Reaper's channel, so go check that out. And as always, thank you for watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, Keechlings. Cloak Dude is up next. Why am I singing? I don't know anymore, guys. I'm tired. But anyway, bye.